Goes on the record. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Greta.
And what are your thoughts, sir, of Carly Fiorina's foreign policy plan, which I should add is pretty much what she laid out at her debate about a week ago?
I like it. I like it. I like it. She's talking about the United States of America being a leader nation instead of a reactive nation and instead of being a follow nation. Her statements are strong, clear, and definitive. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed with these philosophical statements that she has laid out relative to foreign policy. I like it.
What do you make of her strategy? She lays out what her strategy is, and you compare it sort of with Donald Trump, who says he doesn't want to tip off the enemy, so to speak. He doesn't want to tell him what he's going to do. He thinks that's a bad strategy. I mean, she's made very plain what she intends to do. So tell me, which is the better approach politically, and which is the better approach for the American people?
In this case, Carly has the better approach because she's basically sending a very clear message to our enemies. She's not saying how many ships. She's not saying how many missile defense systems. She's not saying how many exercises we're going to conduct. She's simply saying we are going to do this, like it or not. And she doesn't care because she wants to get America back where it belongs, and that is respected in the world for two things that only other countries, even our enemies, understand: our economic strength and our military strength. That's all they understand. And she makes statements that will put us back at that level.
Is there a difference between looking strong and looking sort of belligerent and offending people in a non-productive way?
That probably is, but I don't think she has crossed that line of looking strong versus belligerent. She's just being clear. And the reason some people may say that she seems a little belligerent, which I don't think she is because we have such a weak president, such an indecisive president, such an unclear lack of strategy administration. She may seem that way. I like what she's saying about how she's going to approach foreign policy, rebuilding our military, and establishing the United States of America back to its exceptional status in the world. I love it.
All right. Is her foreign policy fundamentally different from any of the other GOP candidates? I mean, I can compare and contrast with the Democratic candidates, but what about her GOP opponents? Are they saying anything different?
Some of them are not saying anything different. Some of them are saying the same thing. They're just using different words. I know that Mike Huckabee, for example, Marco Rubio, I believe, has also stated what we need to be relative to the world. We need to be a leadership nation, not a fellowship nation. So some of the candidates, yes, but I can't delineate all of them, but I happen to believe that most of the Republican candidates feel exactly the same way. They just articulate it a little differently.
So why do you like what she says? You say, I like it, I like it, I like it. Why do you like it more than, like you say, if she says much of what Governor Huckabee and Senator Rubio say? What's different about Carly Fiorina to you?
Maybe it's because what she's saying is connecting with what I said 4 years ago, which is basically a repeat of an extension of Reagan's philosophy of peace through strength. Every one of the statements she made represented peace through strength. And you know I'm a big supporter of the Reagan philosophy, like a lot of candidates, but she made it clear. And she made it clear in a way that I believe, Greta, that is connecting with the American people. More people just need to hear her speak and to hear this aspect of what she would do in regards to foreign policy.
Would you endorse her?
I would, but I haven't yet. I have picked 6 candidates that I consider to be the ones that I would prefer. She is one of the ones I picked even before she shot up in the polls. She's one of my pick 6.
All right, let me ask you one quick question. Who's your first pick right now in your pick of 6? Who's number one?
I don't have a first pick. I have 6, and they're all on the same plane because, as you know, Greta, a lot can happen as this campaign continues to unfold. And so far, all of my 6 are still in the running.